changes.
Hey, good afternoon everybody, and welcome back to the RockstarFlipper YouTube channel. February 16, 2019, it's Saturday afternoon, and some reason a news story came out today about Amazon, and I got asked how to duplicate what Amazon has done. If you saw the title, Amazon made billions in profit, $11 billion in profit to be exact, and they are not responsible for one single penny, not 1 cent of federal taxes. How is that possible, and is it duplicatable by you based on the amount of profit that you've made? Okay, so how does a company go about earning $11 billion in profit, one of the biggest companies, if not the biggest companies in the world, and not actually have to pay Uncle Sam, the US government, 1 cent of federal taxes? Well, it's a little bit deceiving, and the title's not clickbait, but the policies that Amazon goes by does not apply to you and I. Even if we own a business, I own an LLC, it doesn't matter. I can't duplicate what Amazon has done. So basically there's a cocktail, they call it a cocktail, a mix of tax loopholes and tax policies that Amazon has been able to take advantage of now 2 years in a row, because file back to 2 years ago and they made like $5 or $6 billion and again paid zero in taxes, and it was a big deal. Everybody thought it was a fluke, and now they're showing that they know the tax laws inside and out better than anyone. Of course, Donald Trump, our president, complained that that's not fair, that how they got out of it was going to change. And the problem is these tax laws, these loopholes have been in existence way longer than Donald Trump. I mean, way back to, God knows, you know, the early 2000s or earlier in some cases. And I'm no CPA, I'm no accountant or tax person or you know, IRS agent, but basically in the short story is what they're doing is basically their expenses, their deductions, the amount of money they put back into the company, the amount of money they leave in the accounts, the interest, all of these things that they spend money on allows them to make 11 billion in profit. They actually do 30, you know, whatever the number is, 300 gazillion dollars in sales. And so they know that they have to offset 11 billion in profit, which would put them in, say, the 30% range depending. So they might owe, you know, 10% would be 1 billion, so they might owe, you know, 3.3 or 3.4 billion in taxes, because when you make 11 billion in profit, you owe like 3 billion in taxes. So they have to offset that 3 billion, and so they're making sure that they're spending enough of their working cash capital on expenses that are legitimate in order to offset. So for those of you not familiar with taxes, let's say that I make $1,000 in profit and the IRS says I owe them 300 bucks in taxes. Great. So I owe you 300. And then I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I had to buy a scale in order to weigh my packages to run my business, and that cost me 20 bucks. And the IRS says, great, we'll give you a deduction for having to buy a scale. That's a legitimate business expense. And so the scale was 20 bucks, so they don't give you $20 off, they give you a percentage. Every deduction is different. Again, check with your CPA always. But let's say they're like, hey, that scale falls in the category where we give you 50% off. I don't know the number, I'm just throwing it out there. We'll give you $10 off your taxes. So you owe us 300, now you owe us 290. And so that's what Amazon has done. They've taken all these expenses that have totaled up to that 3 point whatever billion in taxes they owed, and made sure that all the expenses come to an amount where they can basically show zilch that they owe. In fact, the number I saw showed the IRS owing Amazon money, which is insane. I doubt Amazon would ever take the money, because the audits on their company would be bonkers. I don't even know how many people that would take to do. Anyhow, if you're a CPA, if you're an accountant, if you're an IRS agent, if you're somebody, please identify yourself in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you have any inside information or any theories as to how else they could be doing this, because that's really the only way that I could see feasible that Amazon could get that number from 3.3 billion down to zero. Other than that, don't try to replicate it in your own business. It will throw up big red flags. It will get you audited. If you legitimately have a bunch of expenses and your business didn't make a lot of money and it offsets, usually that happens for the first 1 year, 2 years. By the time you hit your third year, the IRS kind of expects that you're going to be running it as a business, maybe be profitable. Anything beyond that, if you're losing money or not making any money, they kind of call it what's called a hobby. Again, check with your CPA and your tax accountant or preparer, whoever you hire. But that's generally how it works. If you have all those deductions and those expenses, then by all means, deduct what is reasonable and you have receipts for and whatnot, but just be careful how you do it. Trying to do what Amazon has done is nutsola, and only Mr. Bezos seems to be able to get away with it. So props to him, although taxes do pay for a lot of important things. So hopefully if he is dodging anything or they find anything he owes, they make him pay up. We'll have to see, but I don't imagine his team of lawyers would allow him to do something that wasn't within the legalities of the current law. I'm sure the laws are going to change to make sure he has to pay more taxes or taxes at all. But I don't imagine that his legal team would allow him to go to jail at this point. So with that being said, thanks guys for watching. Just a quick video. I had literally like 5 people email me and ask how to get their taxes to 0 because Amazon did it. I'm like, oh, eek, I can't give you tax advice, but my advice to you is don't follow what Amazon does. Even though it looks good, the last thing you want is an IRS audit. So enjoy your weekend, guys. Enjoy your Saturday. I'll see you next time. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. As we get closer to 100,000, I'll announce some of the things I'm giving away. Like the video if it helped you out. If you enjoy it, if you enjoy these stories, I'll do some more of them. And as always, your comments are important to me, so please leave one in the comment section below, and I will respond to as many as possible. Good night, guys.